Hey everybody, welcome to this week's garden video. We don't get a lot of rain this time of year in the Pacific Northwest, although it's just starting to pick up, so I do end up spending some time watering my garden, including the few things I'm growing to overwinter. But I also spent some time harvesting the last of my grapes. They are an old variety, probably Concord, and I don't eat them because they have seeds, but what I do is I pick them all off the vine and then I bring them in and then I put them in a pot here and I boil them down and I make juice and I freeze the juice. And anyone who's a gardener knows how much time you spend processing all of your food. I spent more time processing the last of my cucumbers this week. I made more pickles, I made more tomato sauce, I made some jam, I made a whole bunch of stuff. So tons of processing, but you know, that's the life of a gardener. I also put the last of my strawberries in that I'm gonna grow over winter in that little patch. I continue to harvest my tomatoes. Mostly I'm getting little cherry tomatoes, but there are a couple big ones still left on the vine and I'm about ready to pull them off. I did harvest my 2 butternut squash, pulled the vines out, and fed the vines to the animals. I do find it quite entertaining to watch them eat the vines. I pulled out a couple of my sunflowers that I had growing kind of randomly in the garden, and I spent some time starting to harvest those seeds. I ended up feeding those to the chickens. I am still getting zucchini full of powdery mildew, but the zucchini is still coming on, so I continue to harvest those. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen with raspberries. I cut them all down to the beginning of the year, and they all grow back, and I'm having this wonderful fall harvest, so I will continue to harvest those, which is pretty exciting. But here's really just a look at the garden. There's some beets that I'm overwintering because I'm going to have them be my seed stock. There's a lone kale, there's a basil back there, and my jalapenos, which I'm about ready to pull out. Those are some lilies, but really there's nothing growing right there. And then here is my, tomato row, which is just about done except for those cherry tomatoes. I've got my seed stock and my cauliflower there and one other head going on, some leftover beans. I do have some baby broccoli in there, and you see my lettuces up there as well as my new strawberry patch. I thought I'd leave you this week with just a pan of a little hike I went on this week.